property market currently at a record high, it is vital to stay one step ahead of your competition when selling your house. So I'm giving 3 sellers the chance to have a good look round each other's houses.
A lovely bright room.
No, I'm not coming in. Oh, no, I'm not going in that.
Oh, my God. Well, it overlooks that.
To see what changes they can make to appeal to a potential buyer.
It's lovely decor, nice colour choice.
This is house porn you're giving us.
Today, our rivals speak their minds.
This is a bit of a car crash, really.
First thoughts are they probably don't do a lot of cooking.
We'd be bumping into each other in here, wouldn't we?
It's a tad retirement home, isn't it? Tempers flare.
You scratch all the frame.
And some people need convincing.
Things like bread bins.
Yes, that's a great idea.
But which house will the buyers like best? Today, I'm in Chobham and Woking in Surrey, with 3 sets of homeowners all looking to sell their houses. Given that London's just a 25-minute train ride away, demand for properties here seriously outstrips supply, which may explain why retired couple Jani and Tim have been house hunting for quite some time.
So I think it's fair to say that you're not the quickest when it comes to moving houses, are you?
No. We moved in 27 years ago. It took me about a week, and then I started looking.
Why have you never made the move until now?
Both of our jobs were on contract. There was no time until eventually we retired.
So let's talk about the sort of things that your new home must have.
For me, it's got to have a study. It would be nice to have a larger garage.
I would like a small kitchen. I don't want to do a marathon every day that I cook. What I want is a room, a large room, where I can do my hobbies.
OK, so you want a room that you can leave everything out and just...
Lock the door and keep Tim out.
And it's got to be the largest room in the house.
For a 3-bedroom property to house their hobbies and a garage for Tim's bikes, Jani and Tim have a budget of £500,000. And all 3 houses that I've lined up fit the bill. Before Tim and Jani take a look around, our sellers get the chance to check out their rivals' homes. This should help them decide where they need to step up their game and keep ahead of the competition. First up, a management consultant, Duncan, and his wife, Nicola. They've spent a lot of time and money getting their chalet bungalow just right.
We've completely renovated the house to the extent where we've taken down walls and removed chimneys.
I would say it's quite contemporary, clean line, minimalistic, no frills. Just where I like it.
This place is super clean, as in gleaming, not a speck of dust anywhere.
Oh, my house is very clean, very clean. It has to be. I spend a lot of time cleaning it. I can't sit in the house if there's any dirt or dust. Has to be just so.
I deliberately leave stuff around just to avoid it. When she says it needs tidying up, I make sure it's worse, so she's got something to do. Keep her out of trouble.
This spotless home has 4 bedrooms, giving extra space for buyer Jani's hobbies, plenty of parking and a garage that should suit Tim's love of cars and motorbikes. But all that means it's at the top of their budget at just under 500 grand. Up against Nicola and Duncan are hairdressers Joe and his Polish-born wife Izabella. They also like clean lines.
Generally, I just like simple things, not very flashy, easy to maintain.
Yeah, some people come in here and think that we've got a very empty house, but we like it simple and clean. We don't want it too cluttered.
Izabella knows what she likes and has decorated to suit her own particular style.
My favorite colours is, again, white, grey. In a house, I do like this cold feeling. I'm not a big fan of skirting boards, only because I just find they're a dust collector, really. If you haven't got them, you don't have to clean them, simply as that.
That's a unique way of looking at things. Joe and Isabella's 3-bed property has an extra attic room which could be buyer Tim's study, but also has the added bonus of a separate annex, the perfect place to house Jani's hobbies. It's on the market for well below their budget at £445,000. The 3rd house is owned by Mary. She moved into this Victorian property with her late husband 27 years ago, and she's more interested in having a comfy home.
My house, I hope, would suggest to people that I'm warm and welcoming and that it's comfortable and they're not afraid if they drop a biscuit on the floor type thing.
Mary's retired these days and the house is now too big for just her.
I need to downsize. I need to look to the time when I can't necessarily go up my stairs. And I'd like a smaller house, and I'd also cut down my council tax bill, and I'd cut down my electricity bill, yeah. Sorry.
Don't apologise, every little helps. Mary's 3-bed Victorian semi has a fair few original features. It also comes with a large garden and is on the market for £449,950. So it's Nicola and Duncan's ordered chalet bungalow, Joe and Izabella in their 1960s semi, and Mary in her Victorian home, all competing for an offer from buyers Tim and Jani.
We found 3 very different properties for our buyers, Tim and Jani, to look around, but before they do, our sellers get the chance to nose around their rivals' houses in order to stay ahead of the competition.
First up, it's Joe and Isabella's 3-bed property.
Joe and Izabella have converted their garage into a self-contained annex, which should be a fantastic selling point. But at the moment, it's putting potential buyers off.
Curb appeal instantly.
Yeah.
Broken wall.
And seriously, that's dangerous. That could fall on people.
Bit of parking space, essential. I don't like the dustbins in front, that's a personal thing.
Mixed thoughts outside, now for the inside.
It doesn't feel like I'd just get comfy in here and being warm and cosy. Not sure what colour that is, sort of grey. There's no skirting boards in this house.
Not quite sure about that corner unit there. Looks a bit like a fridge, a bit out of place.
There's a thumbs down for the colour scheme. And the dining area?
I don't like these sorts of chairs. They look like you fold them up and it's like a picnic table.
I think as it stands, it's not selling itself very well.
No, it says Mio doesn't have a dining table. Probably we could do with one.
Sounds like a good idea to me. In the kitchen...
The units are more up to date than mine. I'm learning a bit about this interior bit.
Now for the annex.
It needs dressing. I don't know what the table's doing in here. There's a bookshelf with nothing on it and a child's kiddie seat. At least it's not white. And I like pale, but even I'm getting a bit shell-shocked with white now.
They've just wasted
a valuable space.
A good garage.
No pictures, bit like me, no pictures. Doesn't give any atmosphere to the house, really.
Tour over. Time for their verdict on the price of $445,000.
I don't think it's worth that sort of money. Even if it was tidy, I'd say about 4, personally.
The design of the house internally hasn't really sold it, and it's a bit bitty.
So, lessons for both. Nicola and Duncan on needing a dining area, and Mary on the need to modernise her dated interior. And it's her house up for scrutiny next.
Mary has a very pretty Victorian cottage. She's decluttered it to try and sell it, but I fear she's gone a bit too far, and it now lacks any warmth, charm or personality.
I think that this place could maybe do with a few plant pots. Back home, maybe my area could do with maybe a little bit more dressing on the front of the house.
Once inside...
Nice hallway.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's quite bright.
Nice wooden flooring. This place has got nice skirting boards.
Lovely finish. No, it's a very nice finish.
A good start, but that all changes in the lounge.
First thing that comes in my mind, a little bit dated. I think it's just lacking a picture or a mirror or something, really.
Yeah.
I don't think baby blue is a lounge colour.
I think it's great, blue. That's lovely.
You're brave, Duncan.
We'd be bumping into each other in here, wouldn't we?
You're never in the kitchen anyway.
The tiles are clearly departing from the wall.
This is a bit of a car crash, really.
Reckon that's a thumbs down for the kitchen. On to the dining room.
It feels very empty, kind of. It's just a table and chairs.
Oh, I like this. That would look lovely in my house, this would.
So, once again, Nicola is seeing the benefits of a dining room. Upstairs...
Single bed. Why is there not a double in? It's got a filing cabinet.
Yes.
Why you'd have a filing cabinet in your bedroom?
Once again, if you...
I'm not sure.
Well, it could be a nun's bedroom, couldn't it?
Oh, no.
There you go. Now that explains it all.
Now
'cause
we know.
That's why there's no pictures on the wall, because they're all in
They're all
here.
hiding here.
I just feel that the tidying up is slowly losing the character of the old style, really, of this house.
So what about the price tag of £449,950?
I would say it's good competition. However, the size of the rooms are a bit smaller than mine for a family property.
Well, it does surprise
Yeah,
me.
would you pay? Would you pay this price?
I wouldn't.
Close?
I wouldn't.
Close? No.
I wouldn't dream of it.
So no one seems to view Mary's house as much of a threat. Time for our last property.
Nicola and Duncan's house is slightly let down by the lack of a welcoming front garden and a defined dining area. But their attention to detail and immaculate presentation should give the other sellers food for thought.
I think the front garden looks a bit bare, and it could have some more interesting features.
Yeah, no, outside is just really cute and really lovely.
Mixed impressions outside, inside.
Nice finish, isn't it?
Lovely. Skirting that we don't have.
I know, you see. It makes a difference, doesn't it?
You might persuade her yet on those skirting boards, Joe.
Oh, wow, 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 wow. I like that.
Very nice. Warm, comfortable
Look at
look.
this sofa is so gorgeous.
I wouldn't have a television in every room. I think I would draw a line at that.
Oh, that's nice. Bright and simple.
I'm missing a dining table here.
I would take that off and put a dining table there.
In the kitchen, Mary's not impressed by the ultra-tidiness.
It's nice, but it's a bit bland for me. First thoughts are they probably don't do a lot of cooking. It's not a chef's kitchen, I would guess. So you don't see any of the tools.
But the study is giving everyone ideas for their own homes.
Annex could be more, thinking more like a playroom, actually.
But it could be used as an office.
Coming from the thought that you don't have any family photographs when you're selling a house. But on the other hand, it just gives you a little flavour of people live here. I think I've probably got to up my game quite considerably.
Mary's feeling the pressure, but this house is the most expensive, just under that £500,000 mark.
I would have thought that's not a bad price. It's beautifully decorated through.
I suppose I would expect that, really.
In the way of competition, I think it's two different type of houses. This one is a bungalow, ours is a semi-detached.
It's presented much nicer. I can see now.
I'm in Chobham and Woking in Surrey, where our buyers, Tim and Jani, are hoping to move for the first time in 27 years.
I have always been looking for a new house, even within a week of having moved here.
True.
I've lined up 3 great properties for them to view. But before I showed them round, the sellers each had a chance to nose around their rivals' houses.
Now they've seen the competition, they each get £1,000 and 1 week to make those vital improvements. Get them right and they stand a much better chance of securing that sale.
And it would seem some are more confident than others.
I don't think either of these properties that we've looked at, I'd want to take either of them anywhere, really.
I've certainly began to think more in terms of patterns and colours, you know, and I found that I like the stronger colours.
Comparing them, I think we've got a very fair-priced house, you know.
Yeah, it's a few things I know now we have to do, definitely.
We could do, yeah, to tidy it up.
So Nicola and Duncan are feeling very confident, but no house is perfect. And this one's problems start with the first impressions from the street.
It just feels too sparse because you've got all the gravel there. It feels like a big, giant car park. One thing that maybe you could think about doing is to put a pathway up to the front door. I think it's crying out for a planter of some description. Because you've got a couple of little plants out there, haven't you?
The token gesture of a little bit of a privet.
Yeah, well, it's a good start. I'd just like to see a bit more privet, if that's all right.
Nicola hasn't freaked out at my suggestion of adding some foliage to the minimal drive. How will she react when I point out that indoors her extreme tidiness puts people off?
Some of the comments that we had from the other sellers, they felt that this area felt a wee bit, maybe too immaculate. Would you agree with that?
I feel very calming in this environment.
Yeah.
If it's not like this,
yes,
it stresses me out.
But the tidiness means the kitchen in particular lacks any character.
They felt that this kitchen wasn't actually used for cooking. They said that they felt that maybe somebody just came in and shoved something in a microwave and left again.
How dare you? It does get cooked in.
It is a beautiful kitchen, but it is devoid of anything.
I can't disagree with that.
Things like bread bins.
Yes, that's a great idea. Bread bin.
Not an ugly bread bin. You can get a beautiful bread bin.
I think it's the best idea I've heard.
Do you know? We had many a fight over a bread bin and it had to go. Just dress it, even if it's things like a bowl of fruit or a jug of flowers. You just need to make it look a little bit more lived in.
Not sure how that went, but I'm hoping they're still on for creating a new dining area.
That area there doesn't really serve much of a purpose apart from displaying your ornaments and the enormous telly. And that is crying out to be made into a dining area. I would like to see all of that taken off of that wall. Are you feeling you can do this? Easy?
No, it's not, because it's not what I do.
Yeah.
I think in here particular, I think we can do that quite easily.
I'm glad Duncan's on my side.
This house is immaculate, which is largely due to Nicola's obsession with tidiness and clean surfaces. But I feel that it needs just a few more homely touches and that all-important dining area.
So while I'm here, let's start clearing that space by the kitchen so these two can create a proper dining room.
Now, that is impressive. You've kept the boxes.
Absolutely. There's a very fine line between completely getting rid of your personality in a house. I think that you're, crying out for a proper dining table there. See, I always wondered who it was that kept boxes and didn't just chuck them out. And now I know.
Nicola's clearly a no-frills kind of girl, but I really hope she bites the bullet and follows my advice.
Yeah, I feel that they're really good suggestions and that we can take them on board. We'll see how many we can get through in a short time. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it.
Next, I'm at Joe and Isabella's house.
One of the comments that came back from the other sellers that looked at your property was that they felt because you'd painted the walls and the sofa and everything's sort of blues and soft greys, that it's made it feel very cold.
I like it.
A typical seller's mistake. Think about other people's tastes, not your own.
I think what a really good thing to do is to play around with colour. Soft furnishings make a big difference. So things like brightly coloured cushions, just to give a ping of colour. Would you be prepared to do that? Is that something?
Definitely.
The other bit that came up, they said, why have you got a fridge underneath the TV? I know it's not, I know it's storage, but what might be an idea is spend some of your £1,000 budget on a nice sideboard in a nice sort of warm wood.
Definitely, I like that.
And let's not forget the skirting boards.
I think it would be a really good idea to get some skirting boards. Little finishes like that will make a world of difference.
Yeah,
Lovely.
I think so.
Thank you.
I think it's great that you have a defined dining area. However, the folding chairs gives it an air of a student's house.
No.
It just needs to look a little bit more permanent.
Yeah, that's a good word.
Does any of this seem too daunting for you or stuff that you think you can handle?
I think it's great.
Totally logically, definitely right.
Adding warmth to this room, though, is just the tip of the iceberg. Now for that annex.
It feels like a bedsit. It's slightly unloved, mismatched furniture.
Totally.
The colour of the walls, even though it's yellow, it's not a warm yellow, it's a cold yellow again. Number one, it would make a great office for someone. And if you're appealing to a family, a space like this could make a fantastic den. Turn this into a kids' room. A big, brightly coloured rug, maybe some funky bean bags, some big poppy coloured prints on the wall.
I always really wanted a playroom for Daniel,
Perfect.
Keeping it as a
I
playroom.
So you ready to tackle it?
Definitely, ready.
We're on.
Easy, easy.
This house has the potential to make somebody a fantastic family home. However, at the moment, it lacks warmth and some of the rooms feel very unloved and unused. They have a very big task ahead of them for the next 7 days, but I'm hoping that they can rise to the challenge.
I think Amanda's suggestions were great. It'll be great to go shopping and get these things. Look forward to it all.
Yeah, we need a little bit more colours. Yeah, definitely. Yes, it's too cold. It's just too cold.
Joe and Isabella decide to turn the annex into a playroom, which means it's the perfect place to put those fridge-like cupboards, although they're a bit too big to shift easily.
Joe?
Yeah.
Can you just look at the top?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to get that through now. Push, 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 push.
Oh, yeah, but
More.
I'm scared. No, listen.
More.
No, I'm scared.
Can you push towards me? I've got it.
Yeah, but what are we going to do next?
Carry on. I've got it.
Okay.
Towards the cooker.
I am. And what now? Have you got any plans?
Yep,
for this?
carry on.
You scratch all the frame.
Finally, it's in.
Well, what can I say? Hard work.
Last but not least, I'm visiting Mary, who's already decluttered so much, her house is slightly boring.
You've taken away so much of your own personality that now it feels like you're in transition. But it doesn't feel like you're living in this house.
Right, right. It feels a bit soulless, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
You
right.
could go two routes. One is you could completely paint all the walls a kind of mushroomy colour or sort of biscuity colour,
Yes.
just to warm it up a little bit.
Right.
Or you could keep with the blue
Yes.
and go down the idea of maybe putting some more accessories in here.
And Mary herself knows that's not the only thing that needs to change.
And I call these furniture in here my old lady furniture.
Yes. It's a tad retirement home, isn't it?
Yeah.
That sort of heavy tapestry weave is
It's
a
a bit
little
out
bit
of
dated.
dated.
Look into getting an upholsterer to recover them.
So far, so good. On to the kitchen.
With your kitchen, I think for most people, they will probably knock that down and extend.
That's why I didn't really do anything with
No,
it.
and I don't really think you need to do an awful lot. What I'd be tempted to do is stick the tiles back on. There's about 4 or 5 tiles
does
that have
miss
blown,
it,
haven't
yeah,
they? Re-grout it,
Yeah.
and maybe just give it a lick of paint.
That's fine, yeah. Well, that's very, useful. Very useful comments, yes.
Upstairs, Mary really needs to focus on her own bedroom.
Some of the comments that we had back from some of the other sellers was that it felt very sparse and a bit like a nun's bedroom, a bit like a convent.
I put most of my knickknacks away.
Right. I might have to get you to get your knickknacks out again, or a few knickknacks. But what it needs again is an injection of life, because it just feels...
Right. Yes, I can understand that.
Can you see that?
Yeah, oh, I can understand that, yes.
What buyers don't want are things like filing cabinets in bedrooms used for a
I'm sorry
bedside
about that.
table. Well, that's fine. The other thing I would like to see gone is the single bed. People will walk in here and think, oh, well, it's only a single room. Which is silly, because it's not a single room. You need to buy another bed. Doesn't need to be an expensive bed, but what it would give you in here is a sense of, oh, this bed's, this bedroom's really big. It's a double bedroom. This carpet, I would like to see gone.
It's got to go.
Does that make sense?
Oh, that makes absolute sense, yes.
Good. Mary has stripped this house back so much that it doesn't feel like she lives here anymore. She needs to inject some colour and personality back into it to make it feel like a real home.
I'm glad Mary understands she needs to modernise her house, and I've got just the thing to inspire her.
I've picked a few different sort of prints. You know, we were talking about the sort of William Morris style.
Oh, yes.
And then there's a slightly subtler one, which I thought might be quite good for you, because you like your blues and you like your... But there's a little touch of sort of opulence there with the gold as well.
Yes.
And then something, again, that's fairly similar. Do you like any of those?
I like that one because it's more exciting, I think, in terms of colour.
Yeah. If I was going to go for this, I'd do this wall here and maybe the alcove as well.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, food for thought, yeah.
We'll leave them stuck up there then, and you can just keep looking at them and decide whether you like them or not.
Yes. It is very new to me looking at colour schemes and interiors. I mean, one looks at various magazines and gets some idea, but I'm very grateful for Amanda with her ideas and her comments. It was very useful for me.
3 homeowners in Chobham and Woking in Surrey are going head-to-head in the race to sell their house to buyers Tim and Jani. They've each taken tips from snooping around their rivals' homes, and they're now working flat out, making over their own properties to secure an all-important offer. Joe and Izabella are finally addressing their lack of skirting boards.
Oh, look at that. That looks better already. Once we cut these in, that'll be great, yeah.
And Mary's old lady chairs are being measured for new covers.
I was a bit reluctant to get rid of them because they are comfortable. So now I can keep my chairs. I'm really pleased with that.
There's sausage sandwiches at Nicola and Duncan's, who are concentrating on first impressions. Laying a footpath will make their garden seem less like a car park.
I do like the idea of a path now because it's looking very nice. I have to clean the doorstep to match the sparkly path. It's very sparkly.
The footpath might be costing Nicola and Duncan £450, almost half of their budget, but the new path trains the eye to the front door and breaks up the expanse of gravel. Inside, Duncan's chosen the position of their new dining table, but Nicola has other ideas.
No, we'll have it like this.
No, turn it round. No, I'm overruling you.
No.
You've got to do what wife says.
No, I'm putting it in now. Do you want to sit down then? That's savage.
It's a rubbish idea, this one.
Well, I think we can all guess who won in the end. But when thinking about dressing the kitchen, she did swallow her pride and buy a bread bin.
It's a nice bread bin. It's still a bread bin.
I'll put the bread in there for you.
No bread in it. That's where it's going to have to live.
Back outside, the other big expense has arrived. Nicola and Duncan have had bespoke planters made for £500. They look smart, but you can pick up similar ones for as little as £70 in general DIY stores. By placing them symmetrically under the front window, they really set the path off, adding to the kerb appeal.
It's not necessarily something that I would have thought of myself, is to go out and get some planters made. I think that's worked really well, and it's definitely something I'll consider in the future.
All three sellers are hard at work, but it's only a matter of days before Tim and Jani come to view their properties, so they have to keep up that momentum. Joe and Izabella have hit the shops on a mission to find soft furnishings for the living room and the new playroom.
Wow, wow, wow.
Oh, look, this is the section we're after.
And I'm pleased to see Isabella's looking to brighten up her cold colour scheme.
That'd be great for my sitting room. What do you think?
Pink.
Yeah, that's the pink we want, no?
I don't get a lot of choice in colours, so I think you're doing all the picking. I don't think we're going to fit any more on this trolley. OK, let's go and look for the mirror, because we're running out of time.
In total, they pay £190 for all their soft furnishings. And once home, the cushions add a much-needed splash of colour.
You know, every time I kind of open the door, come into the living room, I'm like, I like it. And then I'm thinking, do I really? Am I sure about it?
The big job for Joe and Izabella is transforming their annexe to feel part of the house. Having bought the paint for around £50, Joe gets to work.
This colour looks completely different on the wall.
I think the yellow looks brighter than this.
I don't know, it looks kind of pink, doesn't it? Or no?
No.
It's my imagination, no? How would you describe this colour?
Coffee.
What kind of coffee you drink, then? I don't think I'm very good at choosing warm colours, that's the problem. I think every warm colour I choose ends up being cold anyway. At the moment, I'm not sure about it. But anyway, Joe's doing a good job.
But Joe also gets a little bit of help from his young apprentice.
That's very good there, Daniel. You're doing a great job there, and Daddy can just sit back and relax while you're doing that.
At Mary's, the kitchen is already looking drastically different, largely thanks to her son Nigel, who's a tiler.
Amanda had said, oh, just clean up the grouting and do a bit of painting. My son, he said, Mum, those tiles have been up nearly 30 years, and it might be just as easy to put some tiles up. So that's what's happened.
The tiles cost £120 and have really lifted the room. And Mary's mucking in with decorating the kitchen.
I mean, I can understand why people go for a magnolia, because it'll go with anything, you know. But I thought buttermilk would be slightly more yellowy, a bit warmer. The kitchen will be done by people with their own ideas, and I'm really just making it clean and presentable. That's the idea.
Very sensible. The first set of new covers for Mary's old lady chairs have arrived, with upholsterer Rhoda. Having a chair sent off to be upholstered could set you back as much as £500. But for these handmade covers, they're costing just £180.
Now, you've put loose covers on this one, haven't you?
Loose covers is going to be far more economical. You know, if you've got children, get a washable fabric, you can put it in the washing machine, and the secret is to actually put the cover back on the chair slightly damp.
Oh, OK.
Don't let it dry out.
Don't stick it in the tumble dryer.
No,
Work on a doll's house.
You'll never get it back on again.
Upstairs, the dated carpet in what was described as Mary's nun's bedroom has been replaced with laminate flooring at just under £200. And she's brought in decorator Ray to hang her £30 per roll wallpaper.
I certainly wouldn't have chosen wallpaper in the past, and it's certainly, I can feel already that it's going to add to the room. And the beauty of it is it's got several colours in which I can then pick up a theme to put on my new bed.
So it's off to the soft furnishing shop for Mary, and she's getting guidance from Sue.
I'm going to have a wall
That's
with
lovely.
wallpaper, and
So feature wall.
feature wall, yes, and I've got a new bed. And that is the colour that has been suggested to me.
So that's your accent colour, really?
Beautifully put, yes.
OK, so we're looking at throws and cushions and things.
That's right, for my new double bed.
We've got some lovely fabrics here, which I think are going to be in the right colours.
Colours, yeah.
This one in particular. Let me grab these and we'll put them in the light over here and
Excellent, so we can start arranging, so to
Yes.
speak. Yeah, a bit of luxury look to it.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Oh, magic. Oh, I certainly think the new thinking, the new ideas and the new colours, which are very contemporary, I understand, will certainly make my house more saleable.
With my buyers due in just a couple of days, time is running out, and Nicola and Duncan need to start thinking about finishing touches.
Now, most people, when they turn up to someone's house and bring a present, they take a bottle of wine or some flowers. I bring you some parsley and some rather flaccid coriander. But they instantly just add a little bit of colour. So I'm going to move your lovely roses because I think they're a bit lost over there. And then this, you could maybe put here. It works, doesn't it? Can you cope with that?
I can cope with that.
Yeah, Duncan?
Oh, I have no problem with that at all.
I just moved the soil out the way. So just little things like that, you know, do a really, really good job.
The once cold, empty space next to the kitchen has become a warm and relaxed dining area.
This area, you can now see what it's supposed to be used for.
Yeah. It fits the bills now, and also it makes it easy for people to get their head around.
Yeah. And I noticed a pineapple and a panettone bin in the kitchen and a few other bits and pieces. How did you go with that?
That's still quite stressful, having things out outside on units and things.
You should have a designated cupboard that when you know you've got viewings, you can just get it all out and then put it all back in again when they've all gone.
Now, there's an idea.
Outside, what was a large expanse of gravel no longer resembles a car park, thanks to the sparkly path and specially commissioned planters.
The front, what a transformation.
Yeah, it's really pleased with the front. It looks great, I think.
Nicola made arrangements quite promptly with that, so all in military fashion. So, yeah, it all went quite well, actually.
Yeah.
At Joe and Isabella's, they're down to final preparations, although not everything's going according to plan with the new curtains in the dining area.
I think I might have a little problem. This time with not the colour, but with the length. I bought the wrong length. That is not a good look. That's the last thing I need, just to go back and change the curtains for longer length.
The old annex is almost unrecognisable. New furniture, bright accessories and warmer walls all help show off the space perfectly.
You have worked so hard, haven't you? Are you exhausted?
Absolutely, yes.
I mean, the beautiful thing about what you've done in here is that you've now given this room a purpose. What does your son think of it? Does he love it?
He loves it, yeah. He had breakfast in here this morning.
Oh, really? But he doesn't want to move.
No, he doesn't.
Lots of subtle changes have lifted the clinical feel of the living room. The new soft furnishings punctuate the room with colour, bringing hints of warmth all over.
Did you have fun with the accessories in the living room? Because that's worked really well with the pops of colour with the cushions and things.
Yeah, that was sleepless night for me.
Do you think you've done enough to win the competition?
I really hope so.
Blood, sweat and tears was worth it. Well done, guys.
Sleepless night, sunshaven.
Mary, meanwhile, is arranging her new soft furnishings that finish off her bedroom brilliantly.
I certainly feel my bedroom now has got the wow factor. It's been transformed completely, and I hope people will enjoy looking at it.
The room was described as a nun's bedroom, and Mary has completely transformed it with half of her budget.
Mary, you clever thing. Haven't you done well?
Well, I have had a lot of help, so I've been very lucky. I've just enjoyed the excitement of it all.
It's got that wonderful country charm about it now. The bed works brilliantly. Have you slept in it yet?
Yes, I tested it, of course, and I was surprised how comfortable it was.
Downstairs, the new covers on the chairs have had a massive impact, and bringing back her knickknacks has made the front room feel lived in.
Living room looks fantastic. The chair, what a masterpiece that is.
I know, absolutely fantastic.
It's nice to see an injection of you back in the house again with the paintings and the books. And has it been good fun to do?
Oh, it's been an absolute adventure. And I've been learning as I've been going along.
And you've gone above and beyond the call of duty because you've even given your kitchen a bit of a revamp.
That was down to my son, Nigel, bless him. So I hope I've got the wow factor in the house.
I definitely think you have.
I'm in the Chobham and Woking area getting ready to show 3 great properties to Tim and Jani, with the hope they'll make an offer on one of them. Having had the chance to snoop around their rivals' houses, each of our sellers has made some final changes to their homes. Mary's shown that a simple redecoration can transform a bedroom.
I think it works, and I'm very satisfied with the result. I have grown. I've developed in my colour thinking.
Nicola and Duncan have created a beautiful dining room.
Yeah, I like the changes that we did, and it was a worthwhile experience. In particular, I like the fact that it was all stuff that I'd suggested in the past. So the smugness has been non-stop from day one.
And Joe and Izabella have made an empty annexe an extra reception room.
Daniel loves the annex. His playroom is just so important to him now. He wants to eat there, he wants to sleep there. He's really happy with his playroom.
Let's hope Tim and Jani are going to like it just as much, as it's Joe and Isabella's I'm taking them to first.
What do you think, first impressions?
No garage.
This was a garage, which has been converted. But what this house does offer you is 3 bedrooms, space for a big hobby room, and space for an office. So you're not compromising there. You're going to be tricky, I can see it. Right, let's go in, come on.
I think I've got my work cut out with these 2. Hopefully the injections of colour in the sitting room will sell it.
But this is the main living area.
It's open plan. Not very fond of open plan.
Tim, I'm talking to you now because Yanni's not impressed.
Interesting decor, not unappealing. You can make it your home by adding things to it.
I feel a little bit cramped. Say we're having a dinner party. I'd feel that I'd have to step all over them.
OK.
Not going well inside either. Maybe the empty annex to potential hobby space will win Jani over.
There are lots of things you could do with this room. I was thinking that this would make a great hobby room for you because it's big enough, or a study for you. So you've got lots of different options here.
I think with the traffic there and the limited parking area, we really would need to have a garage.
You'd need a garage.
Yeah,
okay.
it does have 4 sewing machines.
Wow, how many cars have you got?
Only 2.
I was going to say, what are you going to need more? Something for 4 sewing machines or
well,
something?
the sewing machines are going to stay.
They are not going to go.
It's not going well, is it? Let's hope Joe and Isabella's attic room can swing things.
They've made a lot of the space, haven't they?
They have, yes. Could you have this as an office?
No.
Excellent. For what reason, my lovely?
Too far away from the kitchen.
Not a winner so far. Last throw of the dice, the price.
How much do you think it's on the market for, Jani?
3.8.
420?
445.
445? Oh, really?
That reflects how much I like it.
Yeah, I guess it does in a way, doesn't it?
Moving swiftly on to a house that does have a garage. It's Mary's.
There's a garage at the end of the garden that you can access via a little road.
Oh, right, interesting.
Looks like a big project of renovation.
OK, well, come inside and have a look, and then you can be the judge.
After you, thank you.
Looks like Jani needs convincing. Inside, Mary's dated decor has been transformed into modern style.
Does it have a nice feel to it?
It's cosy, and it's also very warm, and that pleases me no end. Yeah, it's very nice. You like wooden floors, don't you?
I like wooden floors because they're easy clean.
OK, yes.
But it's lovely decor, nice colour choice.
Ooh, things are looking up.
So a formal dining room.
Again, very nice.
But the decor is ever so nice. Muted gold tinge with white. Really goes well.
Wow. Whilst I've got Jani on side, let's show her the refreshed kitchen, which is small, just like she wants.
You could just about swing a cat with a very small tail in this room.
Oh no, why his whiskers?
Small enough?
It is actually very workable. The only missing thing is space, prep space.
Yeah, but if you have a small kitchen, that means you don't get a lot of prep space.
This house is crying out for an extension.
Yes.
There isn't enough living space. This, for me, is too small.
Yes.
But at least Tim can see there's potential. will upstairs change his mind? Mary's nun's bedroom is now a beautiful space, thanks to a new floor and a feature wall.
So this would be your master bedroom.
Golly, look at the wallpaper.
It's a nice wallpaper, isn't it?
Do you like it? Well, I can tell you like it, Tim. Yanni, if I was a betting woman...
I would like it completely plain.
This wouldn't be a bedroom. This would be my office.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. My study. I would want to look out there.
Yanni, what do you think?
Room is too small for the bedroom that I would like to have.
OK.
Storage space is another issue.
How much do you think it would be on the market for?
$450?
It's on the market for 449,950.
Oh, right,
so
okay.
you're 50 quid out there, Tim.
Right,
You're getting good at this guessing game.
Oh, right, OK.
What you're paying for is obviously charm, character and location.
Location.
Yeah.
Difference of opinions on this one. Tim seems keen, but I'm still to find a house for Yanni to fall in love with. So here's hoping it's third time lucky with Nicola and Duncan's chalet bungalow. And by laying a simple path, they've increased curb appeal no end.
So last, but by no means least, a bungalow with stairs.
Lots of car parking,
Yep.
nicely presented, obviously well cared for. So I'm curious to see what's inside.
You also have a garage, Tim, you'll be
Oh,
pleased to
excellent.
know. Just down the side there's a
Two-car
garage.
garage?
One
Just
car.
one. Okay,
Yes, sorry.
okay.
I failed, I failed.
Never mind. There's plenty of room here.
Plenty of room everywhere else.
Best get him inside quick to look at that revamped dining area.
So do come through. Now, I know you like a wooden floor, don't you, Yanni? This is all engineered oak. To your style, to your liking?
Well, it's hugely impressive, isn't it?
I would put glass doors in there.
Do you like it?
I do. It's very nice. Very livable.
Well, let's pretend that there are glass doors there and we can go through them into the dining area.
Into the dining
Come and have a little look. Now, I guess in relative terms, Yanni, this is an enormous kitchen for you, isn't it?
Yes.
It's not a small kitchen.
I like it.
And it's open plan. You like it?
Tim likes it.
I do.
And I can see my corns getting
I like a breakfast bar.
What, just because of the moving around in it? Yeah. OK. And what about the dining area? Because I know you guys like to entertain. It's not a separate one.
I think there's enough space around it, and it's far enough away from
Yes.
the lounge area.
Well, Yanni, if you put your doors there, imagine it as a space there.
It would work.
So overall, impressed so far?
Oh, very. It's
Right.
The quality, I'm certainly impressed.
It's a lovely house.
Bit more open plan for you, Tim.
This is house porn you're giving us.
House porn? Does that mean they're getting excited?
So I'm thinking what we could do in here is a little sign on the door saying Tim's room.
Oh, absolutely.
Because this could be your study.
Slightly larger than I'd anticipated. Yeah, very good.
How much do you think it's on the market at?
I suppose this is the top end of the band, 499.50.
Yes.
Just under
Spot on.
5.
Yanni, how about you? Do you like this house? Is it appealing to your sense of style and comfort?
It appeals to me the fact that it's clean and very well actually renovated.
OK. It's giving you food for thought.
Indeed.
Oh, definitely.
Excellent.
So, viewing's done, and I think we can safely rule out the 1960s semi, but there's 2 properties still in the running.
So that leaves the Victorian cottage, bags of charm, bags of character.
Yep.
What did you think of that one?
Lots of work.
Bags of charm, bags of character, lots of work. And the chalet-style bungalow.
Of all the 3, I preferred the bungalow.
And Tim?
Yeah, I think chalet-style bungalow, just beautifully presented. The living spaces worked.
Excellent. So what are the plans? Are you going to go back and look? Are you going to continue the search?
Oh.
Is it back to the drawing board?
As you've said, it's a journey. We found it hugely rewarding to see a different range of properties and think about what we could do.
Good luck with it. You're going to continue the search then?
Yeah.
Just don't make it another 27 years. I do hope you find what you're looking for, I really do.
So, sadly, no offers, but Nicola and Duncan's was the home they were most keen on, and I'm pleased. It's a lovely house.
I am pleased that the buyers did pick our house. It's a beautiful house and it's done itself justice, and maybe it's the changes and the little tweaks that we've done over the last few days that's just got it over the winning post.
Although the other houses didn't suit Tim and Yanni, their sellers are certainly hopeful they'll get an offer soon.
I was a little disappointed because I had a lot going for me and I was hoping the buyer would actually choose my house. There's somebody out there who will fall in love with my house.
We're the winners, I think. I'm doing
the effort that we've put in, we've put in for ourselves, really, of trying to sell the house. It might not be for that person.
I won't be, I won't be disappointed if I don't sell it now.
A few weeks later, and Joe and Izabella decided they actually liked the changes so much they wouldn't move after all. They're now looking to build an extension. Nicola and Duncan have recently received an offer of £485,000 and are looking forward to moving. And there's very good news for Mary too. She's accepted an offer on her house for £435,000.